I first got involved with research here at Purdue actually because for one of my intro classes, my freshman year, I had to find out a professor in my area of interest to do do an interview of his research and write up a paper about it. I was first introduced to the professor by my academic advisor. He thought that this professor would be a good fit, so set up the interview, talked with him, and I don't know if it was through the course of the interview or some email correspondence afterwards. I was like, hey, I'm interested in doing some research. Your project is really interesting. Do you mind if could you use an undergrad? I don't know a lot, but I'm willing to learn. And he said, sure, I'll see if I have some room, and he got me in on it. My research took place in the agronomy department in the College of Ag. The project, the name of it is ICE, Integrating Spatial Educational Experiences. Overall, it's using mapping as an educational tool, spatial mapping of soils and their properties on a user-friendly interface online and as an application for mobile devices. I started this out my freshman year, and then sophomore year he actually was really kind enough to give me a raise, so I continued on from my beginning of my freshman year into my sophomore year. So it was on my own time, but I did get paid for it. It was very formal at the beginning because I was just coming in and not knowing a lot, so I was trying to pick up as much as I could throughout the course of it and trying to asking as many questions as I could. I've also been developing this really good relationship with this professor, really been able to talk with him and ask him for letters of recommendation for various scholarships, and talk through with him on some other difficulties that I'm having, maybe in other coursework or things of that nature. So it's been really good to develop that relationship, to talk through other issues, to talk through other problems with him, and get a different perspective, get some insight and some more experience, so that to get some assistance with any problems that I run into. Right now, or I guess this research project that I'm doing right now, has been a very large motivator for me to actually go out and say, you know, doing what I'm doing now, I can actually go out and help people solve different resource problems and find an area that I'm really interested in working in, that I can actually go out and help solve potentially very large world issues. I'd probably say one of the bigger challenges is, of course, time management. Also, a big thing was just picking up something that I had never done before and doing something completely new. There was quite a learning curve to work with some of the software programs that I was working with, and I hadn't received much of a soils background. I was doing a lot of stuff with soils and mapping, and I hadn't had much of a background with that, so I had to learn a lot as I went. And it was definitely manageable, but it was great to get exposed to some of the stuff earlier, because later in my coursework I've had to do a lot more with it. I've been able to be exposed to a lot of really cool, new, interesting things well before other students have been. So I've been a bit more of ahead of the curve in terms of people in my other classes. I got involved off campus in a volunteer organization, a local land trust. They deal with managing ecosystems for conservation purposes and for public enjoyment. And I've taken some of my interest in working with ecosystem restoration, things like that, brought it back, and have been using some of my same sort of software tools to try to help them gather some information to make more educated or more informed planning decisions for that organization. I've actually also brought back and incorporated some of the stuff that I initially did with my research with Dr. Schultz in the agronomy department, and incorporated that into an honors project that I'm doing currently this semester. So it's been I guess you could say it's been quite a feedback loop. This initial research projects that I've been doing really helped to spark my interest in a field that I really say, hey, this is really interesting. I can do a lot more with this. So I've been doing actually probably almost too much, but it's not a bad thing, because it's exposing me to a lot of really cool fields that I'd never been exposed to before.